Alright, so let's look at solving equations still, but with distributing added into it. So, in this case, we still want to isolate our variable, which is z. We got to figure out what z equals. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to draw our wall, because I want to separate the left and the right. And let's just focus on the left side here. Most specifically, this 7 is going to distribute, or jump. So remember, when we distribute, we multiply. So 7 times 2z is 14z, plus 7 times 1, which is 7, equals 35. Now in red, this is an equation we worked with variables on one side. We want to get the 7 across the wall. So that's 14z equals 35 minus 7, because remember the sign changes. That would become 14z equals 35 minus 7 is 28. Then finally, our last step, divide both sides by 14. Those cancel, and you're left with z equals 28 divided by 14, which is 2. And that's the answer. Alright, for the next one, so once again, this 2 is going to distribute to those two items only. It does not go to the negative 5a, because the negative 5a is not in parentheses. So we're going to say 2a minus 2 minus 1 is 2, minus 5a. We just recopy everything else down. Let's look at the left side specifically. We can combine 2a and negative 5a. So 2 minus 5 is going to be negative 3a minus 2. I bring that negative 2 or minus 2 down, equals 7. Here, draw your wall. We're going to get the constant over to the right. So this will result in negative 3a equals 7 plus 2, because remember the left sign here changes to a positive when it crosses over. That's negative 3a equals 9. Last step, divide both sides by a negative 3. It's important, if this number here and this coefficient is negative, you have to divide by the negative. These cancel, and we're left with a equals 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. And that would be your answer. Alright, so this one looks intimidating. It's really not going to be that bad. Let's first draw our wall, and let's look at the left side. So I notice right away this 1/4 is going to distribute to the two items in the parentheses. So let's do that. So it's going to be 1/4 w minus. So negative 4 is really negative 4 over 1. So that's really just the two numerators. 4 times 1 is 4. And the two denominators, 4 times 1 is 4. So this is really negative 4 over 4, which we know anything over itself is just a 1. Then I'll rewrite negative 3/4 w equals 3. Alright, so now, draw the wall. Let's look just at the left side. We can combine our w's. So these are the two I'm going to combine. Notice, I include the sign to the left. So we have to do 1/4 minus 3/4, or 1/4 plus negative 3/4. So what is that? That's really just 1 minus 3 is negative 2 over 4 w minus 1 equals 3. And negative 2 over 4 is really just negative 1 over 2 w minus 1 equals 3. So all I did from here to here is I reduced. 2 over 4 is 1 over 2. 2/4 is 1/2. So now we're going to draw the wall, and we'll get this negative 1 to the right side. So this will become now negative 1 over 2 w equals 3 plus 1, which would be then negative 1/2 w equals 4. So the question is, how do we get rid of this negative 1/2? So remember, to get rid of a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2 over negative 1. On the left, those cancel. You're left with W. I'm going to write it up here. W equals. So now we have 4 times 2 over negative 1. Well, that's really 4 over 1. So if we multiply across, that would be 8 over negative 1. 8 over 1 is just 8, and since it's a positive over a negative, our answer is negative 8. And that is it. All right, last one. So this has decimals. So I draw my wall. This is going to jump. So this would be 0.6D. You don't necessarily need the 0, but you can. 0.6 times 3 is 1.8 equals 3D. So now I want to draw my wall. I want to get this 3D to the left, and I want to get this 1.8 to the right. Because remember, it's letters left, numbers right. So this will become 0.6D minus 3D equals, this would be negative 1.8. So now we're going to do 0.6 minus 3. So that will be negative 2.4 D equals 1.8. Negative 1.8, I'm sorry. All right, so right now, all right, so what we want to do now is divide both sides by negative 2.4. So these will cancel. We're left with D equals, well, first off, right here, one thing I notice is we have a negative divided by negative. So our answer there is going to be positive. So the question at hand is, what is 1.8 over 2.4? So you can treat this, even though there's a decimal, treat it like numbers. Divide them both by 2. So this would become 0.9 over 1.2. Okay, so 0.9 divided by 1.2, we could do that again. So that would be, we could divide both by 3. So this would be now 0.3 divided by 0.4. So now we have to go ahead and we're going to do long division here. So let me erase these. All right, so we're going to do 0.3 on the inside divided by 0.4. And this is going to move over 1, so this one will move up and over as well. Decimal point's up there. Add a 0. Oops. This decimal point's actually going to be right here. Let me try to erase this. There we go. All right. Let's get this erased. There we go. All right. This one goes up and over. Okay. So 4 does not go into 3, but 4 goes into 37 times without going over. Subtract. We get a 2, bring down a 0, and 4 goes into 25 times, so 0.75 is going to be your answer. And we leave our answer as a decimal because the problem itself was using decimals. So, hope this helps. If you have questions, see me. Well, see you later. Bye.